Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now, 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports. It's the Dolphins going up against the Colts. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback. They'll try and run with their fullback. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Play clock winding down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
Cam Chancellor is one of the best safeties in the game, but with his linebacker size, that allows the team to use him wherever they want to make plays.
They'll give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
The ruling on the field is reversed.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate. And when you're trying to set up a counter play, it's what a lot of people call an influence play. You're really hoping those defensive linemen are really agile that day. If they stayed out late the night before the game and they're not moving as fast, it's a lousy call because that means they're just going to sit in the hole that you hope to create just by the movement of your offensive line.
And there they got the ball to the outer third of the field, but tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things get stacked up in there if they don't move as well as you want them to, and probably just trying to escape and couldn't get away.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
They're going to look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. And he's had great protection back there to throw, really been able to survey from the pocket.
That means the jersey stays clean, so the dry cleaning bill, that's reduced. It also means the trainer doesn't have to deal with him because he's not getting hit. Also means that he's able to find targets downfield at his leisure. That allows him to be really accurate.
So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. Play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they got 29 yards there. And the Colts are going to have a first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Second down now after the incompletion. And to give this time to the tailback. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And a look at the defense now. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. So the defense flinches, contact made, and the 5-yard penalty ensues.
Encroachment, defense. Still 2nd down.
Three yards to go on 2nd down. And the D looking like they may blitz. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
The kicker here is complete. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
But they were in the red zone, and they needed a first down. Was it a surprise to you that they went to the tight end?
Not at all. I thought, though, the defense might put a little more pressure on him, but still able to complete it. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's complete, right around the 8. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Their dangerous wide receiver from 17 yards out. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Let's give credit to the defense. They got plenty of bodies to the point of attack and stuff the run. But I just wonder if the offensive line let down a little bit, knowing that the big guy was getting the ball, and they just expected him to pick up a first.
Yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And back onto the field, here comes the Dolphins defense. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway. That's for sure.
Detroit! And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll come out in the pistol. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Backing up. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
The point after now for Aguayo. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So now here come the Dolphins, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half. You know, I think that's the way they'll go.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. We have played a quarter here in this AFC Divisional playoff. 14-3, that's our score. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough and long coming up. They come out here in the I. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
It's a gain of 24 that time. And that'll be good for an Indianapolis first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, if somebody out there, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
It's taken to the 26. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Let's put our attention here now on the Dolphins' defense. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now, hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw here. Finding time. He's going to air one out. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag.
Sorry now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Able to shake him off. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Here's Pat McAfee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
11 yards on the pickup, and that's good for a Miami first down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Shift together here from the D-line. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily to get to the receiver, and on that play, it was batted down.
averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. They come up in an offset eye. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now they go screen. It's complete. 18 yards there and a first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Deep drop. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them. But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Colts have done a good job today stepping up, and they lead after 2. The Dolphins came into today's game coming off an impressive win, but they'll need to turn it around to find their way back in the win column. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Sticking with the same drive. End of the first quarter. Here, a throw deep down the field is caught, and this play will go for 6. The Colts push their lead to 11. Third down from the 34. Offensive line won't be able to hold up here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. So that's going to do it for us. We'll send you back now to field level. for some more playoff football.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And that's incomplete.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now let's go. Blue, land it.
Out of the gun now on third down. Surveying the field. Great protection. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Here's Pat McAfee now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 36. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Got three down. Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Green 39.
And they'll run it here. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys in it.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. 57 yards. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Aguayo on for the PAT. And it's 21-3. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Back to throw here. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Detroit. Let's go. Green 39. Green. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Hurry up. Here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll look to throw. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block it.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, get a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And on the ground they go with the running back. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He'll look to throw. Backing up to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side.
Pass interference. Defense.
So pass interference, partnered with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hand.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now
or
very
lights
quickly.
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
He's got time. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Able to get away. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Roberto Aguayo now to try to tack on 3. This to make it a 3-score game late. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Here's the punter McAfee to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now back to throw. And this is incomplete.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out in the pistol. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you've probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Set, 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Quick throw. That's complete on the inside. Slant.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. Flush to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Whether you deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Tackle made there by Jonathan Cyprien.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along and control them.
And it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Hot. Blue 90.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. Yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Defense showing blitz. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Aguayo's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here's the punter, McAfee, to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And he fires one incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he comes back with one complete. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Wow, that one took some guts. If this doesn't work, you're handing them incredible field position, but this head coach is undaunted, and he makes the call to go for it. And I'll be darned if they don't get the 1st down.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Holding offense.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll set up a throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
It'll be a gain of 9, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Holding, offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
They're going to look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They'll look to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy. And a big loss here as he's taken down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Green 39.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.